Hello everyone, today I'll be teaching you guys on how to properly set up, install and play Pokemon Legends ZA in 60 FPS and in 4K resolution or in 1440p resolution into your PC. So first of all, what you need is that you'll need to have all the files that I've highlighted here in my folder. These are the dynamic 60 FPS mod that you need for Pokemon Legends ZA to run at 60 FPS. By the way, this is the Nintendo Switch 1 version, and also you will need to have the Nintendo Switch firmware and the Nintendo Switch keys in version 20. You'll need to have the NSP or XCI file format of Pokemon Legends ZA, and you also need the emulator to be installed into your PC. But before you follow this guide, I need you to agree that you have already purchased a legal copy of Pokemon Legends ZA. You own it, you have bought it legally, you have a physical copy or a digital copy of it. So if you have that, then you can proceed into this guide. And also, I also forgot to tell you guys that you also need to own the legal Nintendo Switch console itself. So let's go ahead to Google and just search for Ryzen emulator. That is the emulator that we will need to download, so be sure to search for it in Google, then go to their official GitHub page. Click on that. Then hover down below, look for something that calls latest build, and click on the you can find a stable release here. Click on that, and then just look for the installer for Windows. So this is the one that you need to install, the Windows x64 zip file. But for those who are Linux, you can get here, Mac OS, and for Linux ARM64. But for those who are in Windows, click on this and download it in now. So I'm just gonna skip on this because I have already downloaded this here, and I'm gonna show you the folder where I have it. So this is the one. So double click on it, open it, and to install this emulator is really simple. Just go to your SSD, which has at least 100 or 200 gigabytes of room to put games on it. So just drag and drop this folder to anywhere you like, close the zip file, and then just rename this folder into something that is called Ryzen emulator or Ryujen's emulator. Just open it now, and then just select the Ryujen's application file, double click on it and run it now, so that you'll be able to run Ryujen's emulator. But for me, I have already set it up properly, optimized it, so I'm just gonna delete this folder because I have mine already. So I'm just gonna assume that you have opened Ryujen. So let's go to Ryujen emulator, and if this is your first installation, then your Ryujen emulator will look empty because you still need to install some files in it so that it can detect Switch games and play Switch games on it. So what are those files? Those files are the Nintendo Switch keys and the Nintendo Switch firmware. It should be in both version 20 in order for it to play Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, if you're asking me on how to get all of these files, the most legal way to do this is that you own a Nintendo Switch console itself, you have modded it, and have installed a custom firmware in it. Because if it has a custom firmware installed in it, that means that you can now fully access your Nintendo Switch system files. And once you have access on those files, all you have to do is zip them up, copy them into your PC, just like mine here. Now, in order for you to get the game, again, there's no other way around this, but you should purchase a game, own the physical copy of the game, dump it yourself, and then get the NSP or XCI file format from it. Now, for those who don't know how to mod or install a custom firmware or don't know how to dump their very own game, this is for you. Be sure that you own the game and you own the console. So prepare your mobile phone, scan this QR code here, and you will be redirected to the page wherein you can get all of this free files. So be sure to follow all the instructions in the site to get these files. And once you have them, transfer them into your PC if you've downloaded them into your PC. So I'm just gonna skip on that part, and I'm gonna assume that you have these files now. So let's install them. Go to Ryujen emulator. The next step is to install the keys first. So just open the keys zip file, and then open the keys folder here. Go to Ryujen, go to actions, install keys, install.keys, click on that. And then the next step is just create a new folder named keys, open that, and then just drag and drop the product keys and title keys inside. And that's how you do that. Close the zip file, just click on the product keys, hit open, hit yes, hit OK, go back to actions again, install keys, then click on title keys, hit open, hit yes, hit OK. The next step is to install the firmware. Just go to Actions, install firmware from .exe zip file. For down and look for the firmware file that is version 20.5.0. That's the one that you need. Hit open and hit yes and hit OK. You'll know that it's successful because right down here below it will say version 20.5.0. And also, if you have Switch already into your PC, it will now detect your Switch games and it will show you their game icons just like mine here. As you can see, I have Pokemon Legends ZA and it's the base game version. We cannot install the day one update because if we do, the game will crash and will not run in Ryzen emulator. That's why we are not using it. So just use the version 1.0.0. I have played an hour of the game and runs perfectly well, 60 FPS smoothly. So we will need to install this 60 FPS mod. So just hover into the game icon of the game, right click in it, and then just click on manage mods. And as you can see here, I have the 60 FPS mod. To install this, this is your first installation of the mod. Just click on add button here and then create a new folder, name it mods, and open that. And then remember the one that I have given you a QR code. You will also do 60 FPS mod from it. So be sure to open that and then just drag and drop this folder into the mods folder to install the dynamic 60 FPS mod. So mine is already installed, so I'm just going to cancel this. But for you, you have to select it here and hit save so that it will have the 60 FPS mod to install. Now, the next step now is to optimize Ryzen emulator so that because there are some issues in the game wherein when you enter Lumio City for the first time and you will load the cinematic of the game will crash. So we need to change some settings in Ryzen emulator so that it will not crash, okay? So go to options, go to settings, and in this part, just be sure to pause the video and copy every setting that you see here. So these are my settings for the interface tab. Game directories is wherein you will store your Switch games. It could be anywhere into your PC as long as it's in XEI or NSP file format. Now go to input. It is better to use a controller rather than a mouse and keyboard, so be sure to connect your Xbox, PlayStation, PC, or Nintendo Switch Pro controller here. Map them up according to your liking, but the dead zone for both left and right sticks, you should change those into 0.20. This will fix the drifting issues into your controller and change the range to 2 for both left and right sticks. Once done, go to System. You can change the regional language to your regional language, but the settings for VSync should change just to Switch. FS integrity checks should be checked, and the DRAM size here you need to change this from 4GB to 8GB because before we can just play any of the Switch games easily with just 4GB, but for this game for some reason you need to change this to 8GB. Once done, go to CPU. Now in the setting, you have to uncheck the PPTC because before we need to check this to play Switch games, but for this game we will need to uncheck this so that we can progress through the game. Now go to graphics. Graphics backend is set to Vulkan. Your preferred GPU is you have a dedicated graphics card, at least a GTX 1060, in order to play any Switch games. That is fairly an old graphics card, so you can play this game easily because I know you have a better one. So in features and enhancements, you should enable shader cache and enable macro HLE. Resolution scale, 2x resolution, 1440p. The game looks much better and much sharper and much more beautiful than the base resolution here. And if you have a powerful CPU, you can go for 4K or 8K resolution depending on your monitor, but for me 2x resolution is the best. But if you're having some issues, change this to native. Anti-aliasing as MAA Ultra. If you're having issues, change this to none. Scale and filter, FSR, set to 100%. If you're having issues, change this to bilinear. And isotropic filtering, set to 16 times, but if you're having some issues, change this to auto. Aspect ratio, 16:9, or depending on what your monitor resolution is and ratio. Once done, go to audio, SDL2, set to 100%, and everything else is set to default. Now once done, hit apply, hit OK. Congratulations, your Pokemon Legends ZA is now fully playable. You will not have crashes in playing this game. So a little bit of disclaimer, as long as you a little bit of disclaimer, I can show you a gameplay of this game because we all know how strict Nintendo is lately. And if I showed you a gameplay that Pokemon Legends ZA is running smoothly in PC better than the Nintendo Switch 2 version, then my channel will be taken down and my videos will be taken down. That's how bad Nintendo is right now. But I am willing to compromise a little bit, and I'm gonna show you some boot up into the title screen of the game to show you proof that this video tutorial is working. But I'm just gonna blur the screen from here on out so that Nintendo will not be able to hit me with any of their copyright strikes into my channel, and please do understand on that. And as you can see here, I am now in the title screen, and I am, look down here below, it says 60 FPS, and that you know the mod is successful, because the base FPS for this game without the mod is 30, because it's the Nintendo Switch 1 version. So as long as you have followed all the steps that I've showed you in this guide, then you'll be able to play Pokemon Legends ZA easily into your PC. So if you have some questions regarding the installation process of this game, then just leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer all of them. And if you find this video helpful, please do like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because that will help me out. Thank you for watching, see you next time, and goodbye for now.